Hey y'all, Grandma Rose here. It's been one of those days for me. I woke up this morning and I just didn't feel good. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to work outside. I just felt yuck. Not ill to the point of, okay, you know what I mean. Okay, I was not physically, yes, I was physically ill. Darn, I don't know how to say this. I didn't feel good today. At least I started off the day not feeling good, and I feel better. I feel better now, but my stomach was just a little off. We all have those days. I decided to stay in, and it was a pretty day. It wasn't that hot. It was hotter than I like to be, and I just did inside things today, which I played, and it's kind of fun to have a play day every now and then. So, I know you know, or maybe you don't know if you're early on, this may be your first time watching this. This summer I have started a new hobby, and I do what I can periodically, and having fun with it. I'm flying, continue to say that, I'm tying flies. I am going to learn how to fly fish. I have fly poles or fly rods, fly rods. I have fly rods, and I have the reels and all of the stuff and all of the line that goes with it, and I never did learn how to fly fish. I gave them to my husband it was his birthday or Father's Day, or one of those. His birthday was in summertime, so I don't know if it was Father's Day or birthday, but it was about that time of year anyway. And he had 4 sons and would take them fishing periodically. So I gave him 2 fly rods and 2 of everything. So if he wanted to take them fishing, he could take them fishing. And then he just didn't get into it. And I had also, at the same time, because I've always been a crafty kind of person, not crafty as like Fox, but enjoying doing crafts, and especially close little bitty things. I really like little bitty things, into miniatures and things like that. I also bought the kit for learning how to tie flies. Well, like I said, he didn't get into it. He didn't start fishing. In fact, when I went through his things after he passed away, this stuff wasn't even out of the package. He had never even taken the line out of the package, hadn't even tried it. A little disappointing, but it was several years down the road at that point, and who cares? It wasn't a good gift. But I tried. I thought it would be something that he would enjoy, and obviously he didn't. But I did. I always liked to fish. And I think not only was I thinking about him taking his sons fishing with him, I was thinking of him taking me fishing with him, because I really, really love to fish. So this summer, with my dog chasing chickens and having feathers all over the place, and not just from the dog chasing the chickens, but if you've never raised chickens before, they drop feathers all the time. It's like us. You know how we lose hair, and you brush your hair and you've got a hairbrush full of fur. We've got our hair in the hairbrush, and hopefully it's not a hairbrush full of hair, but we lose hair all the time. And chickens lose feathers all the time too. So there we go, introduction. So if you haven't watched some of my other videos talking about fly fishing and fly tying, this might not be the video for you, because that's what I'm going to talk about this time. That's what I've been doing today. I've been watching YouTube videos on how to tie this and that, practicing and learning things and experimenting, and I'll show you what I came up with. So, number 1, if you've ever fished or you fished as a child, chances are when you fished with maybe even a cane pole and a worm, or a cane pole and a cricket, or maybe a little spin cast rod and a cricket or a worm. Well, fancy fishermen have gone back to their roots, and they're making not only the plastic worms like you try to catch bass with, and you cast out and you put them on, and you hook or whatever, and you cast out and you try to catch a bass. Now fly fishermen are using worms. They have this material called squirmy wormy. Isn't that great? Funny stuff. Squirmy wormy. But it's also, I'm going to scratch my face a little bit here. It's also similar to the child's toys. Have you ever seen, well, maybe not even a child's toy, but like a stress ball or a stress relief ball? I bought several of them. Let me show you. I'll show you one. I picked this up yesterday at Fred's Dollar Store. I got two of them actually. You seen these? Okay, these tentacles are made out of silicone, whatever, silicone. It's like the kitchen utensils. You know, you might have a silicone spatula, non-stick spatula, and these are wonderful and they're fun to play with. You can sit here, and I have read about these, and people, you know, like in doctor's offices or a psychiatrist's office or something, people are nervous and they just play with them. They're fun to squeeze, and they make little balloons when you squeeze them. Okay, so I got this one, and over here, got feathers in here too. I'll show you. And this one, pick this out of here. I've got it in a bowl. Show you some other stuff. Here we go. It's got, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's going to show. It's got flashing lights in it. But because this is deflated, it's supposed to be a ball, but because that's deflated, and because this one is deflated, these two, I got them for the price of a pack of gum. Neither one of them had a price tag on them. Let me put these out of the way. I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do with these. So neither of those had a price tag on them. The checker didn't know what to charge, so she asked the manager, and she said, just ring up a pack of gum and give them to her. So that's what I did. I got these two things, and so today I made up a fly. Now, I know if you're a fly fisherman and you're watching this because you think it's going to be somebody fancy teaching you how to do something new, you're probably wrong, because I'm just learning, but I'm having fun learning. And so I got online and I got on YouTube, and I learned how several people make the fly called a squirmy wormy. And there's another fly that uses this material. It's called a San Juan worm or something. It uses the same material but red. And that's been popular for a few years. And the squirmy wormy is popular too. And if you want to go on, maybe I'll find a picture of one and put it up here. But I'll show you what I did and what I made. Where did I put them? Like I mentioned, having crafted. I've done some kind of craft all my life. Looking over here because I've got these worms that I made. And the way find the hooks. So here's the little. Look at these fishing hooks. Let me get these out and show you how small. One little hook is right here in front of my hand. You see that? Put it on my fingernail. Little fingernail. About the size, smaller than my little pinky fingernail. And this is a size 8 hook. And this is considered a big hook for fly fishing. But for what I'm fishing for, which is mostly bluegill, bass, crappie, it's a little bit small for crappie, a little bit small for bass. But for bluegills, know the name, people call them sunfish or perch or brim, other names for bluegill. Good size, a size 8 or a size 10 are good size for bluegill. So I use this hook just like this, and I used 2 of these. I cut these off, a little fat at this end, so I trimmed down. Actually, I cut them off about like that, and I used 2 of them. And I used a piece of this yarn, This is an acrylic, a cheap acrylic yarn, just a piece of it that I got from the extension office where I do crafting in the mornings once a week. They had a bunch of this stuff, so I just wound off a little bit of it. I think I'm going to get some more because I like the way this looked with this. Now if you look at this, what color does that look? That looks yellow, right? No, it's fluorescent green. Because when you put this with this together, can you see how green this is? It's more green than yellow. Put this down. And I also used some of this material I've got in here. I've got a whole box of it over there if you're interested. And this is a fiber that is blended in for people who take fiber and spin yarn. I'm a spinner. And this stuff right here is called Angelina. It reminds me a little bit of fiberglass. It's about the same size as the fiberglass used at Christmas. And this is a blend of two colors. I mixed two colors together to come up with this kind of a greenish color. But if you're interested in this is, if you're a fisherman, this is similar to Crystal Flash. And also there's another dubbing material called ice dub. And there's other materials like this. I've seen something like this where I'm sure what it is they've taken this exact same stuff and they're marketing it under a different name. I got this from a seller on Etsy, and I got a whole lot of it. I got a package, oh, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 different colors. So if you're interested in this, the product is called Angelina, like Jolie, Angelina Jolie. So think about Tomb Raiders. So this is Angelina, and I'll show you how I used it. I made this. So if you recognize a squirmy wormy, pretty much what a squirmy wormy looks like without this part in the middle. So I basically, since I had two pieces and I couldn't do it like the squirmy wormy, I thought I would come up with something of my own. I don't know, I haven't fished this yet, so I don't know if it's going to catch anything or not, but I suspect that it will. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I took the two pieces, these two pieces, I attached them to my hook with, like this, fluorescent green thread. This is UTC Ultra Thread 70 denier in fluorescent chartreuse, not fluorescent green, fluorescent chartreuse. One of these squirmy worm things that probably would be a chartreuse if you bought it. And a bright, this is not, in the fly tying world, this material is similar to chenille, but it's yarn. And so I wrapped it like chenille. I tied in this stuff first. Well, I tied on the silicone bits first. Then I tied in this, and then I tied in this. As I say, what you should do, and I'm learning, I'm trying to learn right. I don't have a person around here who can teach me how to do this, so I'm teaching myself using YouTube. They say the last thing you use should be the things that you tie in first. So the last thing I want to do is wrap the yarn with this Angelina. So I'll tie that in before I tie in the yarn. Wrap the yarn around the hook, then I wrap the Angelina around the hook, and then I tie it off, I finish it off. So if you notice back here behind me, I don't know if you can see this back here, I've set up a camera over my shoulder. I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to try tying this fly, and I'll show you how I do it. I won't take a real long time doing it. But I'm going to turn, I guess I'll leave this camera on in case I need to hear the sound.